What is privacy? It's common to think that privacy means secrecy, but privacy is actually defined as freedom from external control or influence, and also characterized as autonomy with society. The term privacy does not appear in the U.S. Constitution, but in some ways, it's the oldest constitutional right. Freedom of conscience and the right to refuse self-incrimination are the First and Fifth Amendments. These amendments embody the idea of privacy. In 1789, the Bill of Rights proposed the Fourth Amendment, which is the right for people to be secure against unreasonable searches or seizures, and is often viewed as protecting our rights to privacy. Privacy has become an indispensable foundation of U.S. civil liberties, and without rights to privacy, any country would be a very different place. The right to privacy refers to the concept that one's personal information is protected from public scrutiny. A person has the right to determine what sort of information about them is collected and how that information is used. As public opinion changes regarding the boundaries of personal privacy, mainly due to the social media and the atmosphere of sharing, the definition of the right to privacy is ever-changing. Because of this constant cycle of change concerning privacy, it's critical for people to take action in protecting their information. A smart practice is to avoid tracking cookies and modify privacy settings so that personal data is protected. The right to privacy often must be balanced against the state's compelling interests, including the promotion of public safety and improving the quality of life. The Supreme Court approaches the right to privacy and personal autonomy on a case-by-case basis. The right to privacy is often protected by statutory law. The following acts protect the right of privacy in the United States. The Privacy Act of 1974 prevents unauthorized disclosure of personal information held by federal government. The Financial Monetization Act of 1999 requires financial institutions to provide customers with a privacy policy that explains what kind of information is being collected and how it is being used. The Fair Credit Reporting Act protects personal financial information collected by credit reporting agencies. Internet users can protect their privacy by taking the appropriate actions to prevent the collection of information. The loss of privacy occurs when individuals are required to submit personal information to the sites they visit. This can be anything from jobs you apply for, apps you download, or credit cards that you sign up for. Willingness to act, privacy and risk beliefs, government intrusion concerns, and confidence are all constructs of privacy. Willingness to act refers to an individual choosing to disclose their information online. Privacy and risk beliefs are beliefs that once personal information is submitted online, it becomes an opportunity for adversaries. Government intrusion concerns involve the inherent fear of government potentially monitoring internet activity and personal account information. For example, what Edward Snowden had revealed to the world about what the NSA was doing. Confidence is the opposite of government intrusion concerns, because this is the notion that governments should have greater access to personal information and activities. Privacy concerns are the single most cited reason for declining to use the internet. Many people are discouraged from going online due to almost every site asking for personal information. Some people have even started to provide false information because they don't want their personal information to be stolen. Internet privacy concerns are a huge topic today, especially with how common social media platforms have become. Social media was designed specifically for sharing. Over 75% of all internet users have some sort of social media account. Social media sites used to be in supporting territory of the internet land, but it's becoming clear that these types of sites now make up a sizable portion of all web traffic. The greater the value of the data, the more privacy will be an important plane of interactions with social media, government, and other parties. 25% of Facebook users don't even bother with privacy settings. A company like Facebook makes money because its users value their personal data less than they value the services that they receive. far too many users believe that their postings on the internet are private between them and the recipient. However, the reality is that once a statement is typed, it can be copied, saved, screenshotted, forwarded, and recorded. For many employers, looking up the material about prospective employees online is an essential part of their hiring process. For example, the president of a consulting company in Chicago decided to check one of the candidates' Facebook pages and found descriptions of marijuana, shooting people, and obsessive sex. This information was used against the candidate and his application was rejected. While copyright law has proved extremely effective in protecting property rights online, it is of little assistance to those seeking to protect privacy. There are no rules or regulations to protect individuals from accidentally having an embarrassing photo or taking a video of them and then posting it online for others to see. Social media has met criticism in terms of online privacy. The Electronic Frontier Foundation has identified two personal information aggregation techniques called connections and instant personalization. These techniques assure anyone has access even to personal information you may not have intended to be public. Why is privacy important? The term personal identifiable information, or PII, refers to information that can be used to distinguish or trace an individual's identity either alone or when combined with other personal or identifying information that is linkable to a specific individual. Two primary laws, the Privacy Act of 1974 and the E-Government Act of 2002, give federal agencies responsibilities for protecting personal information, including ensuring its security. Agencies in violation of these laws will be charged hefty fines and endure costly lawsuit settlements. Additionally, the Federal Information Security Management Act of 2002 requires agencies to develop, document, and implement agency-wide programs to provide security for their information and information systems, which include personally identifiable information and the systems on which it resides. Enforcing data privacy policies are vital, and their implementation ensures legal compliance, avoiding fines, improved business management, and customer safety and security. In December of 2016, 14 people were killed in a shooting in support of ISIS. The two individuals responsible died in a shootout with the police. After the incident, the FBI sought to break into one of the iPhones of the shooters. But Apple opposed this decision, calling the directive an overreach by the US government. Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, warned that adhering to the order would leave a backdoor for cybercriminals to gain access to iPhones. In later news, Facebook sided with Apple on the issue, explaining that companies shouldn't weaken their systems and that they wouldn't support the obstruction of companies' efforts to secure their products. The CEO of Twitter also commented on this topic, saying that forcing companies to enable hacking could compromise the privacy of users. The nothing to hide argument operates on the assumption that there are only good and bad people. Bad people want to hide illegal or bad activity. Good people are only good citizens. The nothing to hide argument also assumes that privacy is about wanting to hide bad things, and is only a concern for the bad people. If you have nothing to hide, then why worry about privacy? Another opinion is that security risks outweigh minimal privacy risks. In other words, the value of privacy is trumped by the value of national security. This argument was used by the FBI when they tried to force Apple to unlock the terrorist's iPhone. The FBI's mindset was, if privacy truly was about the exposure of bad things, then there would be minimal privacy risks, because the government uses computer software to analyze that data, and after that, only a few government officials view the information. Therefore, limited disclosure is not likely to threaten the privacy of law-abiding citizens. But this is not the case. The assumptions of good and bad people should be removed. When we define privacy, it's not about hiding or concealing bad things. The behavior of people changes when they know they might be or are being watched. These effects reduce the amount of freedom of speech people will express, which is harmful to society. Apple, Twitter, and Facebook all agree that privacy is important because without it, people would not have the freedom to express themselves. The lack of this freedom to express oneself would eventually lead behaviors to change, and users would no longer use their platforms because they would have to assume that the motivated people and organizations could in some way or form uncover their private details. When privacy is a social issue that affects the entire population, it is possible to argue against the value of security. In conclusion, privacy is defined as autonomy with society and freedom from interference or intrusion. Like Apple, Facebook, and Twitter, companies should stand up for privacy rights and protect their users. The value of privacy is often trumped by the value of security, unrightfully so. Each person has the right to determine what type of information is collected about them and how the information is being used. Protecting personal identifiable information is mandated by law, and it provides a mechanism for agencies to limit the collection of PII as mandated by the Fair Information Practice of Collection Limitation.